Hey everybody, welcome on back to the channel. We are down in the shop, finally. I know it seems like it's been a long time, and for me it has. You know, the garage is certainly nice, it's heated, it's got a concrete floor, but here I've got a lot of space and I don't bother people when I make a lot of noise. So today we are going to be getting back on the 38 Plymouth. We have the lower trunk panel here, filler panel, to go ahead and cut out and remove, replace. Somehow I've got the new panel here from the owner, and got to figure out how to take off the old one and put on the new one. But real quick, we've done some cleaning down here this spring. I'm sure you can see we've got some pallet racking back here, a little better organized, move some stuff around, some tools, and up behind me here, probably back there, I've got a 4x8 sheet of plywood. All the old signs that I had hanging up in the garage, those came down here. And I've got a couple of banners and flags to hang up just to give it a little more life down here. And hopefully, over the course of the summer into the fall, I can maybe start picking away at getting some insulation, some spray foam insulation on the walls, and just pick away at that. It costs prohibitive right now to have someone do the whole thing for, so I'm hopefully going to have someone do the ceiling, and I'm just going to chip away at the walls, giving us a little more insulation here, and then take that big chunk out of our floor one of these years, hopefully sooner than later. Hit that subscribe button, watch those ads. Anyways, let's get to the point, working on that Plymouth. So we've got a new panel here, or reproduction, that goes in here, but that means I've got to pull up some of this carpeting that the owner's already put down. There's a second layer and kind of an inner panel down here as well, and I may have to fabricate some metal once I get this cap off and figure out what it's going to take to make everything mesh back together. I think for right now I'm just going to grab a grinding wheel and go through just the surface here and pick out, just start picking away at it. Hey, look at Shopcat. Yeah, Shopcat's still here. How you doing, huh? Shopcat's been garage cat, she's been house cat. I don't know, there was another Tom floating around here a few days, so could be mama cat sometime soon. Who knows? You want to say hi? Hi, meow. Anyway, she's gotten a lot more tame and stuck around through the winter. We actually opened up the door here a little while ago and she stuck around. Comes back in here at night for food and water, and during the day she goes out and roams and sits in the sun and just having the best cat life she can. So, Kitty, we're gonna make some noise. You might not want to stick around for that. Alrighty, well, we've got definitely got some gap here between our outer and inner panel. It is going to need some metal work, but I'm going to keep cutting across here. I see we've got mouse house to deal with, so good thing I've got a fire extinguisher around here somewhere if we should need it. Maybe I'll try and find that first, and it's over in the pickup. Pickup, 52. I don't know, there's 3 or 4 of them around here somewhere, so I should be set. There's a big one right there. So we're gonna keep on cutting and see if we can make a mess. All right, well, you can see we've got this rear old filler panel off in a couple of pieces, and we do have a little bit of work. Some rust here to clean up. We do have a new can of weld-through primer to hit this with, so get over here on this edge, over here, and this whole area is going to get cleaned up and primed. Mainly this area here is going to get chopped off and reworked and replaced, so I have something to weld everything to. Our panel itself, at first glance, will fit in here pretty much like it should. If I have 2 hands, it'd be better. But the thing that is missing, if you'll stay, is up here. There is a piece of metal that sticks out. You can see there, a little ridge, about 3/4 of an inch to complete that, that trunk section where the door closes down and the trunk seal goes. So I need to cut off this top piece here and weld it on to this piece. And also we have some rust over here I have to take care of, and there's mouse stuff both back of both of these. So that is where we're at now. I'm just going to go ahead and get out of the shadow first of all and start working through that, get the old piece, get that little lip cut off, tacked back onto our new filler panel, see how everything fits before I weld everything up permanent, and go from there. So let me get some of that stuff done. It's tedious, nobody wants to see it, and we'll come back in a little while. Well, for you, just like this. Alrighty, well, we've got our trunk set back on here for right now. That, of course, will need some alignment. But the important thing is our new filler panel is in, and we're not terribly happy with the fitment of this reproduction part. Showed some pictures to the owner. He's not terribly impressed. He was going to order some other parts for the car from this vendor, and after seeing this, he's going a different direction. He's actually going to have me fix the parts in question. So not a whole lot I can do with this, but there are, even once we squeeze this back in together, once it's welded, we are going to have a good deal of gapping on either side here just because how this reproduction part was stamped. So in the next video, we're going to come back and I'm going to learn how to lead. Something I've had on my list of to-dos to learn. I haven't needed it yet with the 52, the Challenger. I'm going to probably do it there with the sail panel where that meets the roof. But for now, we've got to fill in these options here. You know, I let the owner know, hey, we could leave it as is because originally the gaps weren't perfect either, or we could fill them in, and he opted to have them filled in to have one seamless look across the back of here. And I opted to do lead, so we've got more of a physical binding to the metal versus filler, which even though it's all going to be welded in, it's going to vibrate and rattle, and I could just see that being a failure point for the filler to chip out, especially since it's going to be kind of deep in crevices. I don't want to do that. So we're going to work on getting this tacked in place, and then the next video, like I said, we're going to come back, and I've got some rust on either side here to take care of. I'm going to do that off camera, not a big deal. But we'll come back in the next video, get everything burned in all the way, get this patch in underneath, and most importantly, learn how to get that leading done and have one seamless trunk area panel back here. So, and that's going to leave us with pretty much doing a couple off-camera rust repairs in the corners behind where the fenders sit. And then we're time to strip it down. I've got the front the passenger side door has a kink in it to fix at the bottom near where that area was crushed in and damaged in the fender in the quarter. But again, off camera, no big deal there. So this is kind of the last big step here to get the body itself ready to go. So let me go ahead. I'm going to get this filler plate made to go back here. We'll get our filler panel tacked in, and that's going to wrap this video up. Alrighty, so we've got our trunk filler sitting in here, kind of mocked up where it's going to go. You can see the body lines are actually really well matched up in terms of fitment for the contours, but just the actual lines up and down don't match up that well, especially over here. There's a big gap up here and not much down here, so that's why we're going to use the lead. But I'm going to go ahead and get it tacked in place on the ends, a couple spots in here on these holes, get those spotted in, then we can go ahead and get everything else burned in. So let's just stop talking and start welding. Alrighty, well, we've got the trunk filler panel in. Looks pretty good. There's still more work to do, but let's just show you what I've done so far. It is in. We have our spot welds here in place. Those will get cleaned up a little more before paint prep. Over here is tacked in place. I do need to cut and remove this rusty piece here. So that's when I will go ahead and weld the rest of this area in here before we do our lead work. The other side here was our worst looking side for fitment. I've got more work to do here, of course, but it's at least in place and everything's holding together. Alright, so of course we've got more work to do, but we do have that lead work to do, so we are going to create one big seamless trunk end here, rear end, between the two rear quarters and that filler panel, just because the fitment of this replacement part, reproduction, was not perfect. Like I said, neither myself or the owner were happy with it, but that's all we've got to work with. And we made the best of a less than ideal situation. So, alrighty, so I'm going to go ahead off camera, work on getting those couple of other rust items patched up, so when we come back in the next episode, we are going to work on that lead work back here, and I get to learn, maybe you'll learn. If you're watching this now, go ahead, drop any comments you've got, any suggestions or advice. I have not done any lead work before, so any suggestions you've got to offer, I would love to listen to and read. And then once that's done, we're going to work on the seat belt setup inside. I think the owners actually went ahead and gotten some front seat belts too, so we're going to have bracketing to build for both the rear seats and the front seats, so safety first, especially when it's his family in there. So otherwise, I'm going to clean up my mess and get ready to keep on grinding away. So thanks for watching. If you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button below. Again, leave a comment. That kind of helps me learn from your experience too, and lets YouTube know people are watching the videos. So till the next time, have fun doing what you're doing, and we'll see you real soon. Bye-bye. Also, it was a great time to stop because I'm out of welding gas.